Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today and spending time with us learning about the Physician MBA program at the top-ranked Kelley School of Business here at Indiana University. My name is Susanna Eastwick. I serve as the director of the Physician MBA program. Of course, I'm joined in the room here by Felicia Morris, who is our student services coordinator and admissions coordinator. You'll see her in the chat and on the Q&A, and our awesome AV team is behind the scenes. And we're excited to spend some time telling you about the Kelley Physician MBA program. Now, I like to start by always saying, okay, you can find lots of MBA programs all across the US and abroad. Why an MBA for physicians? There's only a handful of MBA for physicians, and we are the only top-ranked business school offering one. Where for us, what we see is that the constant change that is happening across the healthcare industry needs the physician leadership voice behind it. You are the ones who best understand patient care, and we'd like to see you serving in the leadership roles, driving effective change. And the challenge is, as you can agree, you don't necessarily have the language and the tools to navigate the business challenges that are happening, especially given that business and medicine are no longer or never have been exclusive. So tools, things like marketing, delivery, finance, teamwork, leadership, etc., are what we offer. And so this program was designed decades ago. We've always partnered with the faculty in the IU School of Medicine here, which is the largest medical school in the US based on enrollment. And so our faculty have been teaching and working alongside of physicians, teaching business acumen and leadership concepts for decades now. And it really is our mission that we are trying to change healthcare through physician leadership. So, of course, why the Kelley School of Business? Well, we are one of the top-ranked business schools in the U.S. We are consistently, and have been consistently for more than a decade now, been the #1 ranked online MBA. And why do I share that? Because with this program, we're 70% online, 30% in person. And so you can study online with us with great confidence, knowing we are the leader and the expert at delivering business content in an online environment. We also share the rankings because why is it important that we're ranked? That means that you get a certain quality of faculty in our classroom, you get a certain quality of student. There is an excellence around the concepts that we teach, our delivery model, etc. It's important to us that we maintain that excellence that we see in the rankings that we're recognized for. And that faculty ranking really comes to bear within our Physician MBA program. What's unique about our business school, and you're here actually on the Indianapolis campus, people who know Indiana University, the Kelley schools are both on the Bloomington and the Indianapolis campus. Here on the Indianapolis campus, our faculty are actually often doing joint research or appointments or consulting work with our colleagues in the School of Medicine, but also with the many healthcare companies that are headquartered here in Indianapolis, which include Lilly, Roche, Cook, Humana, or Anthem. There's a number of that have their headquarters here. And so what's unique about our faculty is they are very much understanding the healthcare industry, but even more so, they understand your learning style. There's studies that have been done that talk about how you effectively teach physicians CMEs for long-term retention of knowledge and practicing physicians. And what they've found is if you leverage the physician learning style, which is first recognize what you already know, then introduce the new knowledge, have you reflect or apply that knowledge, and then reflect on it, that increases the retention of knowledge. And so our entire program is built around that learning experience. You'll see that in our modality from online to in-person. You see that in how we build the topics throughout. But our faculty really understand that's how you learn, and that's how they build their content to ensure that you get the most learning efficacy. Additionally, they understand you're going to be giving up your most precious commodity when you go back and get your MBA, and that is your time. And so for them, they very much think about how do they teach you the best practices through efficiency and effectiveness to be respectful of that time. They also know how to leverage best practices for a really immersive, both online and in-person experience. Here's a great quote from one of our alums, Dr. Summer Liston Crandall, who graduated in 2024. She's at a small rural hospital in Michigan and actually heading into a top leadership role eventually. Her quote here, "I enrolled in this program because I want to make healthcare work better and know how to navigate our complex system. Learning alongside other physician leaders and from faculty who've taught physicians from the start really makes the Kelley Physician MBA stand out. Whether learning process improvement, economics, or finance, we can apply everything to the healthcare setting. And that's a great way to sort of walk into our curriculum today. So what we see ourselves doing is giving you an MBA. We have what's called a core MBA. So this isn't an executive MBA, actually, because we're not focused on time to completion. We're focused on the breadth and depth of what you need to know, but we deliver it executive style. So if you hear that executive MBA word thrown around, that's typically a lower credit hour, the faster time to completion. So for us, our MBA is a standard MBA. And actually in the first year of the curriculum, you complete a standard Kelley core curriculum. So Kelley has a brand of our MBA where we teach a standard curriculum of marketing, finance, management, accounting, and so forth. And so in the first year of the curriculum, you're going to be taking that core curriculum. And then the second year is when we've designed a series of customized courses that really focus in on the intersection of business and medicine and what physicians most need to know. And ultimately, throughout all of our courses, what we're studying is not just how the healthcare industry currently works, but how it should work. And what we do is we take best practices from all industries and then teach you how to apply them to the healthcare industry so that ultimately you're walking away with, okay, wait, if manufacturing's figured this out and banking's figured this out, if we take some of these concepts now, humans are not widgets, but if we take some of the concepts, we can use that to revolutionize the healthcare industry. And one of the unique things we do is if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know about finance, I'm not a math person, great. We always pair quantitative courses with qualitative courses. So we use both sides of the brain and make you feel quite comfortable and confident as you work through the curriculum. Now, one of the things we really specialize in is problem-based learning, because if you recall, going back to the physician learning style, we really recognize the best way for you to learn is in that application model of learning. And so as you go through the program, we're going to be asking you to do projects, typically projects from your organization or one of your team members' organization. You're on study teams of 4 to 5 physicians, and you change teams every 6 months throughout the program to expand that learning and networking component that an MBA is really well known for. You also do consulting projects with outside organizations. We're constantly bringing in expert speakers and panelists to talk to you about, okay, here's how it's really working now. We use the case-based method primarily for most theoretical concepts, and it's a very experiential classroom, which you hear this word experiential if you have kids who are in their college search. All colleges are talking about experiential learning. And what that means is really we immerse you in the conversation. When you come here to Indianapolis or to DC, our classroom is always very much focused on, okay, let's take you to the courthouse and talk about how the healthcare law is adjudicated. Let's go to a manufacturing facility and look at Six Sigma in practice. So it's very immersive in ensuring that you learn this language well. Now, our whole program is designed for physicians, not just the curriculum, but the modality. You come in with the same cohort and take all your courses together. There aren't electives because we learned early on that sort of creates like FOMO and everybody's like, I need all of the courses. So we've created all of them. And you take all the courses in a lockstep curriculum. And it's a like-minded individual. I was talking with someone yesterday about how, you come into the program speaking the same language of clinical medicine, and then you learn this language of business together. We use the team-based peer learning. It's very flexible and very efficient. And so we think about how do we use your time effectively. Now, I mentioned our applied learning component. We actually have courses that are specifically honing in on that applied learning. One being our executive coaching. We actually immerse you at the very beginning in a leadership course that really looks at how you lead yourself, lead your team, lead your organization. And at the end of that week, you're paired with your executive coach who then walks alongside you for the duration of the program, looking at how you're going to be taking the lessons that you're gaining from the program to really enhance yourself from both a personal leadership or an organizational leadership perspective. And you can find the profiles of all of our coaches on our website to see all their different areas, but we only use coaches with terminal degrees who are certified coaches. We also offer the opportunity to go abroad and look at healthcare outside the U.S. We're heading to Australia and New Zealand in February of next year. We were just in Spain and Portugal this year. We're looking at going back to Europe in 2027, and that's optional, but it's open to all students and our alumni, and so you can continue to take advantage of that course for years to come. We also go to Washington, D.C. and immerse you in the conversation of healthcare policy, and really what we study there is how the physician voice can better be inserted in the experience. And we were just there last week, which was unique in these current times with the government shutdown. But it actually was one of the most powerful learning experiences, since there's so much conversation around healthcare policy right now as part of the shutdown. It was just made for, not necessarily preferential, but it made for a great living classroom experience. We'll also end the program with a capstone experience. Capstone sort of is that word, when you're building a chimney, you get the blocks and then you put the cap on the top of it. And so the capstone experience is really taking your entire curriculum and everything you've learned, and you do an individual project at the end of the program where you take everything you've learned and write out, your pro forma business plan, what have you, on a concept that you want to move forward in some capacity. And so it's very individualized. So if you're interested in entrepreneurship or operations or looking at quality, what have you, you can use that as your capstone experience to really personalize the curriculum. We also offer a course in career management and professional development, as well as dedicated career coaching. And throughout it all, you earn CME credits, which I'm going to talk about here briefly here soon, about how that can really be leveraged. But that's one of the ways in which we think about efficiency. Your CME credits actually post to your transcript every quarter. And before I move forward, I want to pause for a second and say I forgot to introduce our alumni guest as I was welcoming all of you, and that's Dr. James Dunlap, who just graduated. And I thought of him; he just went to DC in May, actually, because we've switched around our curriculum recently. So I'm sure he'll be talking about that experience as well. So he'll be joining us in just a few moments as I continue walking through some nuts and bolts of the program. So as we move forward, I wanted to highlight this quote from Dr. Sonal Desai, who's actually a presidential management fellow. If you look that up, it's a program that allows for management fellowship into government roles, and she's moving into a healthcare policy role. So currently is a fellow at a hospital in Texas in preparation for that. Her quote here: "Everything we learned in the physician MBA program was an opportunity for immediate application in my work. The goal of the physician MBA is to teach us how to use new skills and skill sets, and our goal is to apply them. The added value of attending a top-tier program is that you learn from professors and colleagues from diverse backgrounds, levels of leadership and expertise who help you build your foundational business skills." And so that's sort of just affirmation of everything I was just saying. Now, there's a bit of an eye chart here on the screen, and this is our program of study. I've emailed it to each of you ahead of this session to give you a sense of these are the courses, this is the dates that you take them, here's when our breaks are, here's when our residencies are. This is our document that really organizes everything. So we hold classes, you take about 2 classes at a time for 11 weeks at a time with a 1-week break in between, and there are 7 quarters in the program. And you can find a description of every course on our website. And you can find the faculty profiles of who's teaching every course also on our website. So this document is very helpful. And one of the things I always recommend is if you're looking at a number of different MBA programs, take this document and their equivalent document and sort of highlight these are the courses that most apply to what you're looking to learn. And by doing that, you'll see what program best meets your needs. And we typically win that game because you're going to see that there are courses in our program that are not found in any MBA program. And in fact, we've kind of borrowed them from MHA programs and MPH programs. So that's Masters in Healthcare Administration and Masters in Public Healthcare Policy, because we're really looking at what you most need to know as a physician moving forward. And so we have a very unique, customized curriculum as a result. So I mentioned already the flexibility that we offer, the program specifically to physicians. So the way that the program works is it's, as I mentioned, 70% online, 30% in person. The in-person component, you come here to Indianapolis once every 3 months for a 3-day class session. That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So most of our physicians fly in on Wednesday, fly back out on Saturday evening. Your workload you can expect, and this is a great conversation to talk with Dr. Dunlap or James. We're actually all on a first name basis in our community, or else we trip over titles all the days. But also we try to really create a strong community here, which is why we're a first name basis. But the workload you can expect in the online component is about 10 to 14 hours a week, and that's mostly asynchronous. Our faculty will lead class sessions every Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. But if you're not able to log in live, they're recorded. You can watch them at your own convenience at a time that works for you. And we'll be spending that time doing reading, a lot of reading, of course, case studies, online discussions, your team meetings, your project analysis, etc. And there's typically something due every week. However, our faculty always stay 2 weeks ahead of you, at least in the courses, so that you can work ahead in the program easily. It's great for if you're sort of on a week on, week off kind of schedule. You can do most of the coursework on your week off. Or if you have admin time, you can schedule it for then. You can still take family vacations, go to conferences, etc. You just have to manage your assignments accordingly. So a typical cohort for us, we typically see somewhere between 40 and 45 physicians in a cohort, lots of different states and specialties represented. We'll see an average age around 45. Now keep that in mind, that's an average, right? And then we'll see about 35 to 40 different specialties. So you might be like, oh, that's a homogenous group of MDDO. No, we'll pull in physicians from every single practice environment you can think of, pharma, device, payer side, you name it. So it's a very rich, diverse cohort that drives the conversation. And here's a great quote from Sachi Hiramath, who graduated in 2023, who's a system VP at Advocate Midwest. His quote, "The best part of the Kelley Physician MBA program is working and learning alongside physician peers, which is missing in a fully online program. Zoom can't replace three-dimensional human interaction." And I love that quote because that's really very much Sachi. He was well known in his cohort as one of the leaders. And I believe Felicia's put his profile into the chat if you want to follow along and read more about the alumni that I keep bringing up. So before I turn us over to James, I just want to walk through a couple more housekeeping details to make sure we're all on the same page. So in terms of program costs, when you pay to us, your tuition and fees cover a lot more than simply class. It covers all your instruction, technology, all of your student experience. We feed you and offer you snacks while you're here on campus. It covers your executive coaching, your career coaching. We also have a lecture series and webinar series. We do networking events when you're here on campus or in DC that are covered, as well as primers. You don't have to walk in knowing anything. We're going to help get you from ground zero forward. So we'll do a primer on Microsoft Excel and Canvas, and we're looking at adding a primer on AI, since that's so important that everybody understand how to leverage that. And then, of course, it also covers all your CMEs. So it's rather comprehensive. And the program cost over the 21 months is about $96,000, and you do want to add to that from your distance from Indianapolis in order for your travel costs. And just to make sure we're all on the same page, the average cost of an executive MBA program here in the Midwest is about $168,000. So we are priced well below our market, and that is because we recognize most physicians are going to be paying this out of pocket. You've had deferred income, lowered investment opportunity, et cetera, due to your training. And so we've priced ourselves true to our mission, and that our mission is that we're trying to change healthcare through physician leadership. So if you look at the other top ranked schools and are like, wait, why are you guys priced so low? Is there something wrong here? And it is not. It is that this is very much part of our mission to change healthcare through physician leadership. Now, in terms of how you pay, there are lots of different payment plans that you can take advantage of. We do offer limited fellowships or scholarships that assist with travel costs for those physicians who are joining us from a significant distance. You can leverage financial aid, which is typically loans. If you haven't exceeded your lifetime capacity for loans, for borrowing, you can use loans. They're about 6.8% interest right now, and you don't start payments until 6 months after graduation. And then I always say, the second you're thinking about an MBA, talk to your employer employer. Most of them have a tuition reimbursement program. It's about $5,250 each year. And so if you multiply that over, we fall over 3 calendar years, so you can use 3 years of that. And then additionally, because we award CMEs, you can reroute your CME dollars to get reimbursed for tuition in the program, which is another great way that we function in that sort of physician specialty. And if you're in a private practice or a private group, that actually means then the entire cost of the program is tax deductible for you, which is hugely beneficial. So keep that in mind. Now, in terms of our admission, we are accepting applications right now. We accept applications through the 1st of July or until the cohort is full, which we cap our cohorts at 50, whichever one comes first. So I'm always really encouraging that if you know this is an option for you, you want to apply early before we close the cohort. And our admissions requirements here on the screen, it's very straightforward. No standardized exams. You give us a form, a fee, your medical school transcript, your CV, and 3 people who can recommend you. And once we do an interview with you, you get a decision back from us within a week. And so it is very much focused on your time and being effective with your time.